Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Hometown Cable. My name is Bob Venn. Our program's called What's Going On Here. It's Sunday. Calvin has the camera, and it's the last Sunday in June. Guess what you're going to see in the next 10 or 15, 20 minutes? That's right, the 4th of July celebration in Rouse's Point. We're here for a pre-show interview with some of the people that are very involved in this, and we're going to find out what's happening this coming week in Rouse's Point. First man we have right here is George Ducharme. George, you've been here many years at this.
That's right.
How many?
On my own, about 16.
16. And you are the general chairman.
Yeah.
And you have some assistants here. Can you tell us who you got with us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Harry Laundry Jr.
Yeah.
He's first vice in the American Legion.
Hello, Robert.
Good morning.
He
Good.
works on the ads and he does the float for the Legion.
Okay. And Dennis Richards?
Yep, Dennis Richard.
And
Morning, Bob. How are you?
Good morning. Fine. Dennis, and what is your part in the
I'm a co-owner of Gaines Marina now, and we just...
financing the whole thing? Is that what it is?
No,
Is that what it is?
No, there's the money. There's the money.
Yeah.
No, it's nothing like that. I'm here to, we're trying to promote the village of Rouse's Point, bring in business, have the local people, try to support us and help in any way that they can.
Okay. And also the boat parade will start from your...
Yes, it starts from Gaines's.
Okay.
And I believe it goes all the way out to, I think, the breakwater. It comes back. It's my first year at this.
Okay.
So.
And this next gentleman, when he don't pay, you're going to pay?
Exactly. My name is Enrico Corona from Lighthouse Point Marina,
Okay.
and I'm with a participation with George. I help him to prepare the boat parade.
Okay. Now, that's been about the third year?
That is gonna be the 6th.
The 6th year?
Yes.
You had a great parade last year. It was real nice, long,
Yeah.
lots of... expecting a good crowd this
We
year?
did very good last year. I think with the prize we're gonna give away, we're gonna have same success,
What
or
kind of-
maybe better.
What kind of parade? What kind of prizes?
The prize it's from Gaines Lighthouse Point Marina. It's gonna have the first prize is a free summer summer dockage, and the third prize is gonna be half. And we got a lot of sponsors, Canadian and American, and we got a good sponsor is the Chamber of Commerce of North here.
Mm-hmm.
And here we got Labatt, Renault, Philip Morris, Club 2000, Gedingo, various restaurants in town.
Is it true to believe you're not French?
Me, I'm Italian.
So you're not French. How long you been in Rouse's Point?
Now since '83, so 13 years.
You like Rouse's Point, huh?
I like, can be better though.
It can be better. How are you going to make it? How long are you here? All year, or do you go away during the winter?
I'm here 10 months of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll get back to you, George. We didn't ask any of the
Didn't allow me any
dates.
comments on it.
Well, you think I... No, he didn't make any comments about you. I better not say
I
anything.
first crack.
Okay. What are their dates and what...
Okay. Parade's, the festival itself is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th of July.
Okay, what days are those of the week?
That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay.
And Wednesday, of course, is the opening day, and we have a carnival coming in, a bigger carnival, a new carnival. And then at night, we have Whitey Reese and his Colebrook Ramblers. It'll be down in the gazebo, I guess you might want to call it, down in the park for entertainment. And then the next day will be pretty much the same thing, Thursday. And at night, we have a step ahead line dancers down there who will put on a little show, and I guess they will give some lessons too.
Okay.
And then the following night, we have, of course, the carnival's here all this time, and incidentally, all our flea markets will be down there. And the third night, Friday night, we have the choir, the St. Patrick's Choir, and they will be singing at the fire station.
I'm going to say you can't get in the Civic
Can't get
Center.
in the Civic Center because they turn the floor off.
Mm-hmm.
And we will also have the Straw Hatters to give a concert.
Okay, now when anybody goes to the concert or the Straw Hatter, the choir, they're going to have to bring their own chairs. There's no place to sit. So if you're coming and you've got some lawn chairs, I would suggest you bring them.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't furnish chairs.
Okay.
Saturday is going to be pretty jammed up because we're going to have the carnival, of course, and the flea markets, and then we're going to have the street parade will be at 7 o'clock at night, as usual, same route.
Mm-hmm.
And then the boat parade is going to follow that
Okay.
at dusk.
About 9 o'clock, you figure?
Right, last year I started around 8:30.
Okay.
But I have to make another point. He say start from Gaines. No, the parade start from Lighthouse, go to the Brickwater, come back and finish again.
Okay, so you can see it twice. It's going to
Yes.
go all the way.
That's
It will be
That's my
judged.
mistake.
It will be judged off again.
Okay, be judged off the Gaines Marina. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Who are the judges?
And the
I'm not quite sure at the present time.
Okay.
Last year the judge was the last 3 mayors in Roses Point.
That's what it was.
And this year we didn't contact them, but one I know is willing to judge again with a little bit more organization than
Okay.
last year.
Yeah. All right. Now that's
Okay.
uh,
after the street parade's over, then we have the fireworks.
okay. Now this year you're going to have Sunday to recuperate and clean up, and that's nice to have that day after
Yeah, we usually
before
try
you go
and
back
give-
to work.
We usually try and give them that day, and we usually try and stay on a day where they've got the next day off,
Mhm.
rather than go that last night, because a lot of people have been calling since December, trying to find out when this thing takes place, and they come up to visit their relatives and their friends, and if it's like on a Sunday night, they got to pack up and wait, or go home without seeing them.
Right.
So
But
by
no,
Saturday we make up for that
okay.
time.
We want to make sure we understand this is not a money-raising affair in Rouse's Point. One of the few in the area that isn't doing it to raise money. It's a celebration. You try to break even.
Yeah, I was going to say, hopefully we'll break
You can
even.
break even,
That's what we're looking for.
right? No, not everybody, huh?
We try to make even, but we cannot.
Well, it's good advertising for the village. It helps the merchants in town. And as you say, you did the advertising.
I helped. Yeah.
You helped with the advertising. Good response on your advertising brochure?
Yes.
They're going to get help out of it. They're going to have business out of
The
it.
local businesses really participate, and they're great when it comes to something like that.
Mhm.
Tough to get them to build floats, so.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, floats, the floats are not easy. You know, you got to have a place to put it overnight.
The American Legion Post 912 is putting on a float.
Mhm.
I'm chairman of that. So
If you look, you'll see how many floats are in parades. There aren't too many.
No.
And they're not that tough to do if you just do a simple one. It can be
Yeah.
done very simply.
75% imagination.
I
Yeah.
thought you were going to tell me, well, don't you make one then? Well, that's not the point.
Second time.
Hometown
Yeah.
Cable ought to have one,
That's
right?
Definitely.
Well, he's there working, so he can't do that. We'll take a short break. You're watching Hometown Cable. Our program tonight is featuring the Rouse's Point celebration. A mainstay, the biggest parade, the biggest, I think, celebration in northern New York. At least anything in our area, in the 3 counties that I can think of, right here in Rouse's Point. And maybe because it's some non-money raising.
Could be.
While we're talking about Rouse's Point businesses and what they're going to gain out of this, and we use the word gain, what about Gaines Marina? You're now one of the owners of
Yes,
Gaines
I am.
Marina. When did this happen, Dennis?
Happened the 1st of May. And I have a partner, Les Matthews. And it's working out well. It's a new venture for me, of course. So
Mhm.
I've always been in the excavation and trash removal. It's something that's seasonal, and I love seasonal business. You know, it's just something new all the way around. And it's of course they're all mostly Canadians that come down, and I come from Canada myself. And it's you know, the people that you get, the different business people you get to meet, and you know, the different families that come down, and you get to talk to everybody and where they're going, where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm. Now, you say you like seasonal business. People like that because they got the winters off. Is that one of your ideas too? You like that part?
Yeah.
You do like that?
I wish I had the winter
But you
off.
you're doing something else then.
Yes, I am.
You are subdividing over there. So I saw some construction. What's happening inside?
Inside we've got a deli in there now,
Mm-hmm.
which is run by Dale Menard, and we're putting the marine outlet store that was downtown here. We bought that. And we're putting that in our building now
Okay.
for boat supplies. You know, we sell a little bit of everything: batteries, the soap, you know,
Okay.
everything for the boater.
Remember, right across from the church. They got good company, right?
Exactly.
And you run the marina
Yes.
and nothing to do with the restaurant?
No,
Nothing to
the
do-
restaurant it's a lease out.
Okay, you own the restaurant, but you lease
yes,
it out.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell me about your parade? Your parade is Saturday night at dusk.
At dusk.
Okay.
exactly.
Any idea how many members you got in now? How many you are planning on?
I think we're gonna do the same like last year. I like it to have a little bit more, but
Must be 20 or more.
no. Last year we had 33.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's more. You know, I covered myself. 20 or more, so that covers 33 also.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
That's
right.
that's
But
good.
33, huh?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You got some great. A lot of work goes into that.
Exactly, and
A lot of money involved with all those lights.
That's why we have to give some good inspiration to them,
Right.
you know, with some prizes. That's why they be so good last year.
Okay. Yes.
One thing you might add in there that after the street parade, we're gonna, instead of like doing the next day when they draw for the raffle that we have a general raffle that's sponsored by the Legion to help
Mhm.
this thing. Gonna be drawn immediately after the awarding of the trophies at the reviewing stand.
Okay. Reviewing stand for the parades in front of
The
the library again. And you did mention about fireworks. Fireworks this
Yeah,
year?
I told you.
I beg your pardon.
Strictly
Yeah,
after,
we got
after the parade,
After
after
the-
the boat parade.
after the boat parade.
and the
Okay.
fireworks take place.
And that's going to be taking place from where? From
Off of the Sportsman's Pier.
Portsmouth's Pier. All right. And what are you going to be doing during the celebration? Now that you got all your advertising sold.
Well, I've got the float to
Float, yeah.
do, so that'll keep me busy.
Yeah. Where do
a
you
bit.
build your float? Where?
Right at my home. We just get a trailer. George.
In the yard? Or?
Yeah, right in my yard.
See, one of
And
the
then if it rains, I put it in the garage. So.
Okay.
But I've got a lot of people that help me with it, so it's not that much of a chore.
You can win the float, and if there are not too many, you can win the float.
Well, we
prize.
did last year,
No.
but we put the parade on. So when you put it on, you can't win
He
first
keeps
prize.
shaking his head no. He don't want you to.
No,
No.
You won't allow us to win.
non-competitive.
Uncompetitive. All right.
Seeing that we put it on,
All right.
we can't win.
All right. Show me what you got in your hand there, and where do you get these? That's the program
This is the program.
with all the people who donated for the ads and find out all the people here.
This is the program. This is put out by Border Press for us. And we have people who go out and sell the ads, myself among them.
There's got to be
No,
12 or
there's
there's got to be what 16
And,
pages there.
Debbie Cole was
Debbie
instrumental
Cole
in
involved
the
in that.
advertisement. Too.
Okay. See some of
Debbie Cole, I tried to get a hold of her this morning. I couldn't get her. She's also in charge of the flea markets.
okay. Right, and you got to. Now, where's the carnival going to be?
Right in front of the Civic Center.
In front of the
On
Civic
tarmac,
Center. And where's your flea market?
Down in the back.
In the back part. All right.
Yeah.
So that's where you'll find them. What's going to happen right here in the park?
Nothing.
Nothing in Rouse Park, huh?
No.
So you've moved everything over at one end now.
We tried that the first time I took it back again and tried it, but it's too much to split up. You got too much walking for the older people
Okay.
to go from one place
Well,
to the other.
who do you mean when you say older people?
Well, I don't want to mention any names.
I want to get this,
I don't want
huh?
to mention any names, but one of them's got a mic in his hand.
Yes, but that's why I'm old. I'm talking to people like George Ducharme. Your son isn't here this year. Is he going to be around?
Oh yeah, he's right now. He's on his way back down to Pearl River.
Okay.
For a few days and then back up. He's been going back and forth between Pearl River and Harris.
Well, you know what that means when you say Pearl River. That's somebody who works at Harris or Wyatt Harris, right?
That's right.
And you go back to their new home, some of them,
Yeah, right. Some of them.
down in New York, right? Anything else you want to cover, gentlemen, that I haven't asked you?
Think of anything?
No, that's about it.
Anything at all? Nothing? One more time? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 3, 4, 5, and 6, right?
You can
Third,
count.
fourth, fifth, and sixth.
You can count too.
Yes, okay. New York, Vermont, Quebec, we're getting a lot of people. If you're watching this and you're going to be coming through the village, be prepared for a little holdup, right?
Yeah.
There'll be a little delay with the traffic. Is that any big problem? Not a big problem. Now, you're not competing with Vermont on this. They're having theirs probably
They're gonna force.
the 4th. Okay.
Most places are having on the fourth.
Okay. And any meal involved this time? No meal involved anywhere here. No one's putting on a meal. Okay.
There'll be concession stands down there with food and stuff like that.
Okay.
No barbecue.
All right. So that right here in Rouse's Point, New York, we're glad to have talked with these people this morning about the Rouse's Point. They work very, very hard. They do it for people like yourself, people here in Rouse's Point and throughout the area. Please come to the... All right, we're back again. One more time, we're going to go over the schedule for each day, George, just to make sure everybody understands. Let me get over here so you'll be facing me when you tell me. All right. The 3rd, Wednesday.
The 3rd. That night we will have Whitey Reese and his Colebrook Ramblers down in the gazebo down by the Civic Center. The carnival will be in place and operating. And on the 4th, We will have the same thing. We'll have the carnival and the flea market, so they will be there all 4 days. And we will have step ahead line dancers down in the gazebo. And as I understand it, they'll do some dancing and then they will do they'll give some lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. We're going to have the same thing, the carnival and the flea markets, and then we will have the St. Patrick's Choir, and they will be singing at the Rouse's Point Fire Station. We're going to have the Straw Hatters. I'm not sure whether they want to play with the band or with the choir, or where the choir is, or if they will play down in the gazebo. So you're going to have to look both places.
Okay.
You'll hear them.
You'll hear them. You won't miss them.
And then, of course, Saturday night will be the big night. 7 o'clock will be the street parade. At dusk it will be the boat parade. And when that's finished and it's dark enough, we'll have the fireworks. There's one other thing I'd like to add to this. If anyone interested in taking part in the parade, in my case I'm talking a street parade, if you've got a float, make sure that it's registered with us and call 297-7011. If there's no one there, leave a message on the answering service and make sure you give us the exact name you want to be listed under. Now, I know there's some people that have called and said they thought they were going to put one in, but you don't want to put somebody down you think is going to be there. So even if they think they're registered, I'd appreciate that they would call back and get their name recorded the exact way they want it on the program.
297-7011.
Right.
What time do they have to be here to line up for the parade?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. You want to start this parade on time. They haven't been quite as efficient as Champlain St. Mary's Bazaar, starting right on time every year. But pretty close, George. Pretty close. You can't compare the two.
Can I say what I want to?
Yeah, go ahead. Say it. Go ahead.
You can't compare the two.
Well, you can compare the first unit out on time. Well, one year we had our grand marshal at the end because he didn't get there in time to start at the time of the parade. That's right, we did, because the parade should start on time, and it usually does in Rouse's Point whenever you're involved. Wow, I got to get out of this some way. George, listen, well, either that, I have to say that, or you have to pay for the ad, one or the other. Well, it's okay for me to say it, right?
Sure, right.
Hometown Cable's very pleased, of course. If you've got anything that you want to promote like this, that's what Hometown Cable is for.
Let me add one more thing,
Yeah.
or two more things. I don't know, you have a number you want somebody to call if they want to?
Yeah, if some boat they want to participate, they can come and register themselves at 297-6392, and it's in Lighthouse.
Okay, 6392 in Rouse's Point.
The other one for the flea market, I don't have her number.
Okay.
Is Debbie Cole.
Debbie Cole, C-O-L-E.
Yeah. If
They'd
she
be
can-
under Richard Cole?
No,
No, wait,
no.
I beg your pardon. I meant.
met at Pat O'Connor's.
Yeah. she works
Okay,
at
I don't know a number.
I haven't got her number.
You know whether it's listed under Debbie Cole?
No.
No. Okay.
It's not listed in the book.
Okay. Well, then you got a problem. Call
Forgot to get it.
Call George 7011.
All right, well, okay. Do that.
Listen, thank you very much, gentlemen. Remember, it's not George is the backbone behind this, but because of people like this and many others who aren't here that get this going, there's no way one person can do it all, right, George?
Not really, no.
But you need someone to get in there and say, "I'll do it," and take charge of it, because it's hard to get someone for in charge. And this man's been doing it for years. And when you see George on the street, or any of these people, tell him that you appreciate it. He's not getting paid. He's lucky to break even.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's what we want to do.
The only thing that doesn't happen is they don't call him collect, do they? They don't call you collect.
No, that
That's
hasn't
good.
happened
That,
yet.
all right,
Yeah,
that,
that's right.
Other than that. So don't make it a first either.
Well,
Thank you very much, everybody, for talking to us. And be in Rouse's Point. You mentioned evenings. Is it also during the day?
yeah, the carnival
Carnival
and the flea market's
Or
open
be
at
there
noontime.
all day long. Okay,
Yeah.
from noon on.
Yeah.
And the people are running around. Just come and meet your friends and your neighbors and your relatives here. Everybody comes to Rouse's Point, it seems, for that long weekend.
A lot of people there.
Okay. Thanks very much. And again, I'm Bob Venn. Calvin Castine with the camera. You're watching Hometown Cable. Pleasure for us to be with you. Hometown Cable does not exist. Unlike the Rouse's Point Parade, it's not a non-profit. Works out that way sometimes. Become a patron to Hometown Cable. $12 or more once a year to Hometown Cable, and say you like the programs. Tell us what you like and what you'd like to see more of. In the meantime, we'll see you next Sunday. But just because I said goodbye does not mean I'm finished. Because we were talking just a little bit off camera and talking about who can put a booth in here to raise money, local people. And George said it's very possible. Tell us, George.
Any organization, any local organization, nonprofit organization, which is Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Chamber of Commerce, Kiwanis, any of them, if they wish to put a booth in, all they have to do is contact us so we can make a space available to them, and there is no charge for it.
Okay, well, now any kind, you mean not a food booth? Could they have a food booth?
Sure,
Anything, any
sure,
kind of booth at all. Game of chance, raffle off your quilt. Just don't allow them to sell cigarettes in a place like this. Why would I think of a thing like that, George?
I wonder.
I don't.
I wonder.
Anything else you want to add to that?
No.
Just don't like that or don't exhale, one or the other. Thanks again. If you're interested, 7011. That's 297-7011. George will tell you about getting your own booth. It's not a lot of work. You can make yourself a few bucks.